Welcome to the Health Solutions for the Wired Life radio show, a radio show dedicated to empowering all computer users to get a solution to the health problems inherent in today's wired life. This is the number one health problem for the 21st century. My name is Adetutu Ijoshi. I am talking to you from the Vauxhall area of Union Township in New Jersey, here in the United States. I am a coach, author, consultant, and speaker on health solutions for the wired life. I help people to understand the wired life, what goes on in their bodies when they're using computers and or computerized devices such as cell phones, iPads, and so on. You never thought those were computers, right? But they actually are. This radio show is taking place at 6 p.m. today and will take place every Friday evening unless there are programming changes. We will be continuing where we left off last Friday. If you have not been listening to the broadcasts, I urge you to go back and listen to prayer, and I urge you to go back and listen to prayer episodes after this one so you can fill in the gaps. I would first like to remind us of some foundational facts which we keep on repeating each broadcast to help keep us focused, okay? First off, all of us work for a living, either for others or in our businesses, and our intention is to do so to live. However, because of the ignorance about the wired life we are all living, its effects on human health, and the preventative and management measures that must be in place to minimize it, many of us are really working for a living to die who had best live damaged lives. Secondly, the adage knowledge is power is perhaps truest in the issue of health solutions for the wired life. You must, however, first obtain the knowledge to access its power. Thirdly, computers are here to stay. We have so become dependent on them that humans will continue to use computers until our maker rescues us from what we have unleashed upon ourselves. Fourthly, the computer is a dangerous tool, like a knife. And just as we have to learn to use the knife in such a way that when the driver sits all the time, so we must do with the computer. As losing control to the knife is suicide, so is losing control to the computer. The fact that we have globally collectively decided that the best way to build a global economy is by destroying nature and trying to fix it, a feat we have no ability to do, is actually evidence of the fact that we have a global mental problem. Consequently, on these shows, I'll be giving the audience an understanding of various aspects of the wired life and the health consequences, as well as the solutions provided for us in nature by our maker. Last week, we continued our look at some simple things we can do during the summer to build up our resources. We will continue our discussion about tropical fruits. Okay? Such fruits include oranges, lemon, lime, papaya, pineapple, bananas, and so on. Last week, we learned a little about the benefits of oranges and a lot about why we should only eat whole foods. We learned that no one knows what any food item is made up of. What we see is a manifestation of what we cannot see. Consequently, it is only the maker of it, whom many in the world today choose to rile against, that knows it. He has put it together in the best way for it to achieve its purpose in us, just as everything else is wonderfully made. We do not even know very much about the human systems that we have, and we make so many assumptions and find them to be untrue without consequences. How can we know anything about anything else in nature? Think about that. We don't know much about ourselves, and we want to know much about what is not ourselves. Here we will continue this train of thoughts this week. For we're not supposed to know, that's why we're not coded to know. Everything has been provided and coded perfectly with us. So all we need to do is use everything given to us as prescribed not as we imagine, which is where the problem comes. We want to use it as we want to use things as we imagine, which has nothing to do with reality. And as with any other coded system, when we do this, we'll run into trouble we cannot fix and just create more trouble. Consequently, the whole earth is full of trouble with no solutions, as we are not created with the capability to fix, only with the capability to use as is. Many people today try to deceive us, saying, for example, that there is no difference between organic and conventional food. How do they know that, since they're not the creator and have no idea what effects the chemicals and fertilizers have on the foods and on us? However, one thing we do know is that countries that do not eat conventional foods have far less ill health and spend less than half of the medical expenses of, for example, here in the United States, where we do. In addition, many of us, I included, have found the switch to organic to be life-saving. So we know that there is a difference by experience, not because somebody has said it, but because we have found it to be in our lives. When we changed from conventional to organic, we saw the difference, and our doctors saw the difference, and our pocketbooks saw the difference. Since these people who say all these things, telling us that they know who tried to deceive us, did not create the food, their assertions cannot be relied upon, and it's foolhardy for anybody to rely upon it. You make the switch yourself and notice the difference. You can do it piecemeal so that you can be sure that you are seeing a difference. I would like you to contact me by email and let me have your experience. I've told you mine. It was life-saving. Okay? Only a maker who has given us the food and instructed us to eat whole food knows what he's talking about, since he's the programmer, developer, and maker. As I said last week, remember that next time you reach out for the various processed foods filled with chemicals and dyes, and when choosing between organic and conventional food that are filled with chemicals and artificial fertilizers. Here we will stop again until next week. Think about what we just heard. Next week, we're going to divert and talk about depression, because of the news that we've been having, because of the issues that we have been hearing about in the news of recent. For example, with Robin Williams and with several other people, with regard to the issue of depression. And next week, I'm going to talk about depression as it relates to the wildlife, because computer use does have an inherent symptom of problems that resembles depression. And next week I'm going to tell us the difference between the regular depression and the depression-like symptoms that arise as a result of computer use, and how the treatment for the two is very different, because I don't want us to get into trouble. The two need to be addressed. There's some similarities, but there's a whole load of difference. And next week I will tell us a little bit about that. Okay? But if you want to know more, you can directly go to my books. In my books, I talk about this, and I would advise you to get them and begin to read them and give them to your doctors too. So come by again next week and to learn more. I cannot overemphasize the need to go back and listen to prior episodes, even if you have been around every week. We humans need to hear things many times before they become sufficiently coded into the database of our hearts for us to take action concerning it. And that's why every week I tell us about the 4 foundational facts at the beginning. To get more understanding of these issues and to learn more, get a hold of the book Lessons I Learned the Hard Way by Adetutwi Joshi. This is the first of the 15 books I have written so far, and I'm on my 16th. It's a must-have 300-page guidebook for all computer users. It and the other 14 books I have written are all available at Amazon.com in print and in ebook format for most ebook readers, including Kindle, iPad, Sony, and so on. Also visit my website www.foodsthathealdaily.com. The name is a combination of 4 words. The word foods, F-O-O-D-S, that, T-H-A-T, heal, H-E-A-L, daily, D-A-I-L-Y. Yes, that is FOODSTHATHEALDAILY.com, foodsthathealdaily.com. There you can find more information. You can also direct people there as well as purchase my books. There are 2 ways to shop on the website. Okay? You can click on shop on the menu tab, or you can click on the book gallery tab. The shop tab enables you to shop right on the website, while the book gallery provides a link for each book with our createspace.com e-store. We are now also on Facebook, and we have a Facebook store. Okay, and like us on Facebook, okay, and follow us on Facebook. To get us on Facebook, search for foodsthathealdaily.com. Again, I would like to also tell us that now on foodsthathealdaily.com, you can actually get access to the Kindle ebook version. Other ebook versions, you still need to go to those ebook stores. But for Kindle, you may be able to get it directly from the website, foodsthathealdaily.com. And now there are many more articles on foodsthathealdaily.com, and I have a lot more blogs, because the articles that I had previously on Yahoo Voices have all been released to me by Yahoo Voices. Okay, so I have those, and I'm putting them up one by one into foodsthathealdaily.com. I also have other websites. There's a new one, wiredsolutions.com. That one will be up fully by the end of this weekend, and so go there and take a look around. I have several more that are either in the repair mode or in the development mode. And just as I told you today about wired solutions, so I will tell you about each of the other ones when they come up. And I will also tell you more about wired solutions next week. Okay? Meanwhile, go to www.foodsthathealdaily.com for all your information. Come by again next week if it's Friday at 6 p.m. It is time to learn more about the wildlife and how you can protect yourself. Contact me by email at adetutuijoshi@gmail.com. That's my first and last name at gmail.com. adetutuijoshi@gmail.com. Or you can use computerblessings@gmail.com if you prefer. See you again next week. Meanwhile, share this broadcast with all that you know in every way you can. Share the YouTube link, let it go viral, and let the media begin to talk about this issue. And let there be a national and global conversation that saves many lives, including yours. Thank you, everybody, and